If you're rehabbing or you're just looking at learning how to isolate your core, it's a gentle level 1 exercise class, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, let's start cross-legged to open up our hips. If you're someone who's tight in your hips, then it might feel really nice to put a pillow. Don't be afraid to set yourself right up like Princess and the Pea. You could prop yourself up as high as you need to feel like you're not pulling through the hips. And start with one leg forward, doesn't matter which one, and you'll just start to bring yourself towards the floor. So maybe you'll want to start on your forearms, but wherever you are, let yourself get nice and long through the back of the neck. So just reaching forward, soften the shoulders, and just feel a nice pull, and you'll feel the pull in the leg that's in front of you. And you could hold here for a couple of breaths and just relax into the sensations that you feel. Take some nice big deep breaths. And then when that starts to subside, just follow what your body tells you. You can walk your hands over to one side. You could center your torso over the knee or just go wherever it feels comfortable. And I like to kind of play with reaching out through my top arm here, the arm that's reaching towards the top of my mat, and really leaning into my right side body and taking some nice big breaths there to spread my intercostals, my rib spaces. Kind of lean into the rib spaces and all those sensations you feel. And then you'll come over to the other side. Again, doesn't matter how far over you go or how far down you go. And reach and lean into that opposite armpit and take some nice big deep breaths. And then come back to center. Bring yourself up and cross your legs the other way. And usually, intuitively, we always start on our more open side. I love how the body does that. And you'll forward fold again. So this time, your legs can be crossed, or you could have your foot in front, so just see what feels good. Sometimes it's really nice to put a couple of pillows also underneath your knees if you're just not able to relax through your glutes or your hips. And come to center. So what's nice about reaching forward is you can start to practice Pilates breath, which is called lateral costal breathing. So because in Pilates we're always trying to hold some form of abdominal support, let's go to one side here. We want to learn how to breathe wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage. So if you feel your belly up against your thighs here, try to feel like your belly isn't rising or falling, and breathe more up into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And maybe if you're sitting on a pillow where you can feel your bits up against the floor, you can actually start to play with lifting the pelvic floor here as you breathe wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage. Let's go to the other side. And the subtle parts of Pilates, I'm on a rock. There we go. The subtle parts of Pilates are actually the hardest part of Pilates. So sustaining a gentle pelvic floor connection and breathing properly is really challenging. So I'm going to remind you to do that a lot. And it's super important not to over-recruit through the pelvic floor. So start really gentle. And a lot of people talk about Kegel muscles. Let's bring ourselves back up. Extend your legs out. But we want to do a little bit more than Kegels. We want to think about the front, the middle, and the back of the pelvic floor. So the front is holding your pee, the middle is your perineum, and the back is your anus. So you can really get that feedback when you're on the floor. So you can either just lower yourself down to the floor, or you could reach yourself nice and tall through the spine, neutral pelvis. We're going to tuck the tailbone, draw the pubic bone up towards your chest, squeeze the hips towards the ribs, and then just try to come down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. So really articulate, keep the belly flat, take nice big deep breaths, Bring your elbows down if you need to. Sometimes, if you feel like you have a flat spot in your back, what's really fabulous is taking a towel, wrapping it, and placing it in the small of your low back, and that's going to really, really help give